everyone, welcome to a new video. I thought it would be nice to upload something for the Christmas time. I am currently on vacation. However, before I go and travel, I have a lot of fun. I wanted to do a little retrospect of what I did in December and show you some sketchbook work and a little illustration that I did to do like a digital Christmas card for everyone, and just kind of talk about my perspective towards art and illustration and how it has changed this year, because I entered the year with a certain goal in mind and a certain way of drawing, and I'm leaving this year with a transition, with a shift in mentality and a shift in the way that I create and do my illustrations. And I thought it would be good to capture this in video to maybe help you on your journey. I know that sounds really cheesy, but it is truly a journey in creating, and hopefully this is some good insight in how I create, and maybe you can use some of it. So let me pull out my sketchbooks and let's sit down and chat. All right, so I haven't really cleaned my desk. It's a very impromptu video. Those are always the best, I find. So what I was thinking is that I would show you some old work and then transition over to my new work and tell you my thoughts and observations. So I have a whole bunch of sketchbooks here that I've collected from last year and this year. And that way I thought it would be a really good way to illustrate the difference that I have perceived within my work from this year and last year. All right, so let's see. So I believe this one is the oldest. And a lot of this was done, yeah, I can tell this one was done in 2000. Unfortunately, I don't have a date on here. Let's see if I can put a date on something. This was last year, Folk Week. Yeah, this was last year. So what I can tell you from this one is that I can see that I was really trying to push myself by creating these type of illustrations I was like forcing myself to become looser in my illustrations. But I wasn't getting there. But I knew that this was important work to create in order to get there. I really love using acrylics in this Leuchtturm. This is the Leuchtturm A4+. I still really like this cat. But still, you can see it's too compressed. What do I mean by that? I mean, I'm thinking too much when I'm creating things. However, I must say that these exercises, these that you see here, are from a Patreon, Sarah Dyer Patreon, and this really is what helped unleash and allowed me to let go, because they're time exercises. You're just really trying to get things down on the page, like 7 minutes, 5 minutes. It's really great to write down how much time you have so you can appreciate how quickly you're drawing the lines. I still really love these women. I love that face, but I wouldn't have been able to create any of these if I hadn't opened myself to that challenge of creating with other illustrators. This is a really good attempt of loosening it up, but it's very muddy still, and I remember all of these. These are really old. Oh, my tiger. I went through tiger phase. Oh, cookies. See, I love these. I especially love this one, the flowers of this lighthouse. So yeah, these were all really good exercises, timed drawings. Me just trying to let loose. Oh, I still have some pages. 2 empty pages. So this was like 2021, I want to think. I think it was 2021. This one is, and this is 2022. Let's see if I put a date on here. I hope I did. Did I not? Oh, naughty Christine. Well, either way. Summer 2022. So yeah, so this is last year. I need to get a new one. I love the Leuchtturm. Absolutely love the sketchbook. And this was for a commission for a short story. This is when I had just gotten the Shinhan Pass. And this is with liquid charcoal, I believe. Yeah, really love it. So here you can start seeing some looseness. I was still part of the Patreon, and I still am. I took a bit of a break. I never finished this one. This group really turned out nicely. I took a break because I just didn't have the time to sit down. But then I returned. And I love these. They were just, the line contour drawings. But still not there. Still trying to get out. Like this I really like. This was from a Patreon. These were just 3-minute drawings of little sculptures. This was a witchcraft museum. That's what that was. I had a lot of fun drawing her. But then there was a whole bunch of detail, and I was so scared to draw the detail. Please remember this, right? So detail was scaring me at this time. I wanted to put down things fast and furious because I had really enjoyed that from my fast sessions. This is just, coursework, composition. Again, this is Patreon. That was just me playing around. But I was enjoying just using a sketchbook to have fun. Again, for the commission, just playing around with concepts. This was for a class. Drawing from a fairy tale, from some German fairy. I think this was Hansel and Gretel. There are some really great German fairy tale movies. This was for a zine for last year for Christmas. Again, for another commission. I remember this one, Campos and Knecht Ruprecht. Again, figure drawing. But these are so important to do, so important to just draw figures. Even if this is not your forte, it is such an important exercise to observe the human body because there's so many complexities within the human body, within the human face, with getting the personality down on the page. So important. And now this is all the game. All of this is the game. All of this work from this sketchbook, this big sketchbook, and this sketchbook really helped me get to this stage of being able to create this little notebook for the game. With all of this detail. All of it. It was just so much work, but it really turned out amazing. So yeah, so this was first class again. Oh, I still have pages. Yay. It's pretty much out. So that was this year. I know, last year and this year. Now this is fully this year. This is a Royal Talents. Yeah, this I started November 2022 to October 2023. So here we can truly see, like, this was part of the game. Here you can truly see, if you reference this to something that I did later. For example, let's grab this. I mean, night and day. You can truly see the difference. I'm really thinking about tones. Here I wasn't. Here I am thinking about tones, but how to lay color. It is so important to know where to place color, which color should be next to others, composition, scale, proportions, playing with texture, leaving things out, but adding what's important to give a sense. Well, here, I'm starting to get to this point. Like, this is the beginning of the journey, and this is where I am now. And you can really clearly see the difference. The colors are muddy. The background is not well defined. The figure kind of bleeds into the background. You can't really see a clear define here. Like here, it's pretty much the same thing. Here, it's almost the same thing. Here as well. I mean, I was very happy with it when I created this, but now looking back, I can see what I could have done better, and that's really good. That's really good. It's not like I'm depreciating what I've done, but it is very good to look back and see, okay, so I created this, which was going to help me get to the point that I'm in now. And now in the point that I'm in, I can see what I could have improved. It's all about growth. Here again, colors. Even though I still really love a muted palette, especially in the winter, it calls for that muted palette. Love the Hobbit hole. I probably will draw a new Hobbit hole. I would love to draw a whole series of Hobbit holes. Thinking of it, that would be a cool project to do. Here I can see I did much better because I had already done one a long time ago. I don't know if I can find that footage, but I was trying to be so perfect. And that desire to be perfect was really destroying the work. Like, it was really not the best. Here I was playing with the granulated colors, and that was just beautiful. Like, the proportions are completely off. I still love this one. I still absolutely love the expression. However, I would have done a little bit. I would have improved this eye here. It's a bit too wide, but I still love the colors. I love the scarf. I love the little hat. I love what he was trying to emulate, the mushroom being an umbrella. I love all of that. I love the background, but still you can truly see I needed more practice with proportions and with placement, but all of these exercises are what truly helped me improve. Like, continuously creating exercises and doing time drawing sessions and making mistakes. I mean, that is if there's one thing that you can take from this video, is that it is so important to make mistakes, to just try things out, to draw ugly. Like, don't expect you're going to create something beautiful. Make an ugly drawing and then see what you can get out of it. I'm very happy that I did this because I knew it didn't work. And if I hadn't done this, then I wouldn't have learned anything from it. So it's so important to make mistakes. And remember when I was saying I was afraid of details and I would get too overwhelmed with details? Look at all the details here. And I found a good way to approach it because still too many things get me very overwhelmed. And the best way for me is just to break it down into general. And once you have the general, go down a notch, go down a notch, go down a notch until you're finally down in the small little details. And then it gets to be a lot of fun. Like, I remember creating this and thinking, the colors are right. Yes, the colors are so right. The face of this snowman is wonderful. This light shading here, like I could see this in a picture book. The mouse, not so much. The snowman, yes. And I was so overwhelmed and happy. And also with this, even though I can see some things I needed to be improved, so I redid it to this, which I think is so much better. There's more of an intrigue to it than this one. And that's the thing, to go and do things again, like this concept of having a shadow with eyes in the background gives that sense of peril and mystery, and it gives that anxious feeling to what really needed to be in the illustration for this short story commission. But then having her look at the camera like, are you sure you want me to go that way? Like, are you sure? Especially with the shoulder tilted up a bit, like I'm insecure. It was perfect. I mean, not perfect, but it helped illustrate the story very well. And the texture is just amazing. This was again with liquid graphite and liquid charcoal. Here again, I was getting closer to my journey with color. Pivotal to do all of these exercises. Like, I was feverish, and I really enjoyed this drawing. I was just always trying to come up, and I still am. This was for Folktale Week that I did not end up participating in. But I was thinking of an idea of a king who was just tired of being a king and just wanted to be playful and not follow the rules and not be the one that makes decisions. I really like this one with the slippers, with the bunny slippers, and having, like stuffed animals at the end of his throne and being in his pajamas with fluffy socks. I just thought that would be really cool. And what really helped me get there were these workshops from the Sarah Dyer Patreon with Andrew. I forgot his last name. He's a poet and writer. He teaches writing in England, I forget where, but they were amazing, and I'm going to rewatch them because he really helps you find these ideas that could cascade into a story. And so it was a lot of fun. I felt very inspired. And so I created these as well. These were different characters. What was this? Oh, it was a character that represented an emotion. And here I wrote, so Lord of the Rings, Hobbit goes on an adventure to save the Middle Earth. The opposite would be a giant goes nowhere and destroys Outer Earth. It's a really great idea, but maybe it was unintentional. Like, instead of, in the Lord of the Rings, Sauron he truly wants to destroy things. The opposite would be this giant who accidentally destroys things. So that's something that I could dive into and look into. This is just a page that I'm going to later explore. If we move further, for example, this, the composition is right. The colors are getting there. This is just the first layer. The expression of the mouse, it really hits on the expression regarding the story. The snail, I just absolutely love the colors and the face. Where's another one from that story? Here, this still needs to be worked out, but I just love this soft feel of the children's story. This is the main character, Mouse, and he just looks so content and happy. So I'm getting there. This was for a zine for Wigwat. I think it turned out nicely. It's still a bit muddy in the tree. I think I could have worked that much better, and especially with the birds, but the rest was working nicely. This is a turtle. I really enjoyed drawing that. But I needed to create these things, and taking classes and just working things out and observing how other people do it. Like, for example, this gnome, look how the different colors, the tonal ranges are working. It was getting there, except for this like stoned Jesus dude holding a light tower in midair. But for example, this was also working. So it's getting there. And I can see when I'm creating these things how nicely different lessons and different things are falling into place. And I'm using that knowledge just innately. Like, I'm not even conscious about it, but I am using these things that I have learned while practicing through Patreons. And this is like from a Domestica course of observing patterns in nature, drawing things out, creating creatures from it. And it was so much fun. Something that you could do, yes, naturally, you could grab a mushroom and add eyes to it, like I did here. But just observing things, and I really saw how that helped me even more. And observing how he would use color helped me even more. So continue taking classes. That's like the best thing you can do, drawing first. This was for a lesson of mine. And if we look now at my most recent sketchbook, which is here, these two are my most recent ones, you will see a huge jump, or at least I think it's a huge jump in how I'm creating. So this is October 2023. This is just me swatching what I did in my last video. This was just with the students, so that doesn't really count. But like with the collage, I mean, I don't know. I never thought I would be doing collage because it was just too much work, but it's just really opened my desire to create with paper and with cardboard, and to create things that are more than just two-dimensional, creating things that's three-dimensional, creating things with paper mache, creating things with puppets. Like I really want to get into shadow puppetry, shadow theater. I'm picking proper colors, and I'm okay with experimenting and leaving marks, and it's just, these were timed exercises this was both Emma Carlisle and Sarah Dyer. They did a joint Christmas party with the Santa. So lovely. And it's been a wonderful experience. My figures are getting better. The proportions are much better. And now, when I told you I was afraid of detail, and I was never someone that would do buildings, like I was always afraid of buildings and cityscapes. Well, now I'm that's like what I want to do. And this is actually going to be my digital Christmas card. Of course, I fixed it up like right here. I was so sad. I was almost at the end. I had done all the details. Then I got to this figurine and my ink spills out of my drawing nib. It was so frustrating, so frustrating. Luckily, scanned it into my tablet, and I corrected it. And so now I can show you guys that version, which I still need to do a few little adjustments, but there it is. Oops. Hold on. There it is. There it is. And I think it turned out so sweet. I've always wanted to do like, they call it in German a Wimmelbuch. It's where you have to like search for things and find things, and there's a lot of detail in here. Like for example, the toy shop, it's Fran's toy shop, and there's a little Fran's figurine with a little sign that says open. Here's a little figurine that was covered in ink before, a little bird that I'm still not done with. Then the top hat, is actually a magic shop that I visited when I was in Barcelona. We were there for like 3 weeks years ago. And I remember going to this magic shop, and I mean, it's just so magical. For example, what else do I have? I have this little mini garden area that goes to a river where you see a little boat. And there's this pair that's embracing, which I just thought was so sweet. And then I have my favorite bookstore of all time, Shakespeare & Co. It's a little inspiration of it. And I have a little Shakespeare in there. Hold on, let me see if I can zoom in. I have a little Shakespeare in there. I have person upstairs making tea. I have a little person in the window and a star in the window. And then also in this, oh, come on. Also in this one, there's a little snowman. Like there's a whole bunch of details, and I just had so much fun. But I first started just with the shapes, and then went on to create the others. Another one that I did before this one, and it's what inspired the creation of this, was actually, and I can show you guys, it was a Sarah Dyer Christmas storefront, and these were all timed, and I was really frustrated. And they didn't turn out right. I was smudging the paint.
I was like, I have to do this again. So I did. And I did in my sketchbook. And I'm like, well, what if I were to put all of them together, like the illustration that you just saw? And I took my time, and I feel it in me. I'm doing it more, I'm more present. While before, when I would draw, it was just like an outpour of emotion, just like spew it onto the page, spill it onto the page, get it out. But now I'm like meticulously taking my time and paying attention to each mark that I'm making, and I'm doing it with intention. I know that sounds cheesy, but that's the best way that I can explain it. Excuse me. And so I redid it, and I did it here in this one. So as I was saying, my approach has been shifting to more paperwork, like 3D, bringing illustrations out into life. And so that was this approach, and this coming out of just a sketchbook, this as well of the infinity card. And then something that I just received, which makes me so happy, is the work that I did for over a year with my friend Amy Johansson, the book. I hadn't shown you guys any of this because I was waiting for it to be printed, but this is now available to purchase. This is a bilingual children, well, it's like middle school age kids, like 9 to 12, you could say 9 to 13. And it's called L'espion bilingue. Oh my gosh. Bilingual Spies. And so the dialogue is in French while the narration is in English. So it is a bilingual book. And I did all the illustrations. And so it's very fun to see how I was drawing back then. Oh, and it was just so much fun to create this book. This one it has to be my favorite illustration. It's because there's a little mouse in a top hat that I added. But yeah. But see, that's me, and that's Amy. So that's the book. It looks really great. I'm very happy with it. And we have these nice flaps, and here are the reviews. So it's nice to, mark your page. It's always nicer if you have someplace like a bookmark already created, because I always lose my bookmarks. So yeah, so that is my look back at this year's art.
Okay guys, so I hope you enjoyed this video. It was really cool to look back at my progress and see what I created, because sometimes, you can be hard on yourself and you can think that you're not achieving things fast enough, or you're not creating enough, or you can kind of lose sight of why you do this, because there's just so much noise. There are so many out there that are doing the same as you, and you're like, but they're so much better. But then you look back and you can see that you are making progress and you are getting there, and you're creating some really significant work for yourself. Sometimes it's just best to shut the noise out and just look at what you're accomplishing. So I want to wish you guys all a fabulous end of the year. If you celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas. If you celebrate Hanukkah, I hope you had a lovely Hanukkah. And for everyone else, enjoy time with your family, and I will see you in the new year. Bye, guys.